Okay, this is a poem with a backstory. Okay, this is a serious one. They can't all be fun ones. This is a poem about Los Angeles, California. I wrote it on April 29th, 1992, the night of the Rodney King riots in Los Angeles. In light of the recent events in Ferguson, Missouri, and the revelations of other killings by police of black men around our country, and then the subsequent shootings of police officers in New York City, I decided to pull my poem out and reread it. It was surprising and frustrating to me that it remains so relevant in addressing what is still going on when it comes to race relations in our country. It just seems to me that we never address the real problems. All we ever address are the symptoms. It's the same old story of alienation and inequality that has plagued our country for so long with no end in sight. It has been 50 years since the Civil Rights Act. It's been over 20 years since the LA riots of 1992 surrounding the Rodney King verdict. We didn't address the problems then, just like we are not addressing them now. Oh yeah, we'll address the symptoms all day long and plaster them on the evening news for all night long. People are rioting, looting, burning. That is against the law. That is the problem. Bring in the state police. Bring in the National Guard. These people are lawbreakers and must be stopped. But those are the symptoms. We never address the underlying problems of why. Why are these people rioting and looting? Why is the frustration of people played out in violence on the streets? It is because the changes needed are not really happening. Inequality and racism are the sick underbelly of our nation. When the LA riots happened in 1992, I was right smack dab in the middle of them. I was working at the Amundsen Theater on a show called Phantom of the Opera. The Amundsen Theater in the Music Center is 2 blocks away from the Parker Center police station in downtown Los Angeles. We were backstage waiting for the stage manager to call places, and we saw the riots on the news as they unfolded. The show went on, of course, and of course the show must go on, right? But when the show ended, an announcement was made that Parker Center was under siege, the freeway on-ramp was in flames, and National Guard Humvees were patrolling the perimeter of the Music Center where we were. They said all audience and crew needed to stay in the theater until it was safe to leave. About an hour later, around 11 p.m., they announced that the freeway on-ramp was no longer in flames, that we could leave carefully. I got safely to my car and headed home, which was in Mar Vista on the west side by the beach. As I drove west along the Santa Monica Freeway, I looked to my left and was surprised to see how many spots in the city were in flames. It looked like a war zone right out of a movie. It was an image that I will never forget. I got home, turned on the news, spent the rest of the night, all night long, watching my city burn. And while I did, I wrote this poem. It relates what happened that night, and it relates what is still happening now in our country. The next day, I printed up hundreds of copies of my poem, went down to the Venice Beach boardwalk, and handed them out to people all day long. Will we ever learn? Will we ever evolve as human beings to a place where this insidious racism does not polarize us? Here's the poem I wrote. It is titled, Kings of History. The kings in our country always get hurt. Why is the world still groveling in the dirt, searching for justice? Another riot in the street. Another fanning of the racial flame. A king was broken in the street, and no one gets the blame. It's not a mystery, just another piece of history that the media fuels the flames of for all to see. Buildings continue to burn throughout the city. Prayers for peace call out all around. You wonder, is humanity or justice being served as you watch all over your city burning to the ground? Why do they never listen when we cry out for equality? The true kings in our country call out through eternity. Martin Luther King, Lincoln, John and Bobby Kennedy. When will we finally listen? When will we finally see? Why do we have to sacrifice so much for so little gain? It's about human rights, and it's happening once again. It's not a mystery, just another piece of history that the media fuels the flames of for all to see. Buildings continue to burn throughout the city. Prayers for peace call out all around. You wonder, is humanity or justice being served as you watch all over your city burning to the ground? It's no mystery that pent-up feelings have taken to the streets. But death and destruction do not bring solution. They only increase the pain of an already open wound. Why do joblessness, homelessness, depression, frustration, and anger seem rampant everywhere? Why do unjustified murder and beatings go virtually unnoticed in every town square? Why are executions being justified and war glorified, yet no one around you seems to care? It's no wonder that anguish, pain, and alienation are now once again played out on the streets of our nation. Why do the kings in our country always get hurt? It's not a mystery, just another piece of history that the media fuels the flames of for all to see. Buildings continue to burn throughout the city. Prayers for peace call out all around. You wonder, is humanity or justice being served as you watch all over your city burning to the ground? Thank you.